Hello and a warm welcome. This is Gail from Think Skills, and today I am welcoming you on to step 2, challenge 3 of a Training Done Right program. Today it is all about finding your voice online. Therefore I decided to skip the blog part and actually do a video because it's about voice, so it's probably good that you hear my own voice, and also because it's actually good for online program to vary the type of activities. So here we are, here is the videos. Finding your own voice online. It is a little bit difficult because online is all about spontaneity, and you tweet on the train and you answer email on the train or on the plane or at the station or at the supermarket waiting for the cashier, or isn't it? Because when you do a course online, the very first thing that your learners are going to see is not the facilitated online session. They are going to the first point of contact with you is likely to be an email or your profile or on the community when you post on the group forum discussion for the course. So your voice is actually your written voice as well. So how do you feel, how to convey emotions that you're warm, welcoming, professionals, but engaging, and all of this in the shortest possible amount of word, because we all know that learners don't really read long paragraphs anymore. Since the internet, we all have the attention span of a chicken, so you have to say things in 3 sentences or less. Or you have to find a layout that allows your learners to actually digest the different blocks. Maybe you want to use multiple messages, but whatever it is, your first point of contact with your learners is not likely to be in the environment. If you're worried that written is going to be a bit stiff, a good trick is to do a video like this one. It doesn't take long. If you've got a Mac computer, it's going to probably pop you an awesome video with just pressing a button, or marginally more work. And if you've got a PC with a Microsoft package, you have already video makers in it. It's not an amazing tool, and you won't get an award at the Cannes Festival for the work you're doing. But that's what I'm using. It's functional, it works very well, it's very easy to use, very simple, and that's enough. I guess probably if you're like me, the longest it's going to take is actually to tidy up your backdrop behind you and making sure that it looks professional. Also, for example, for me, I like to say that online is about being personal. So I actually let you see my office, the back of my study. A lot of people wants to be really professional, just shoot behind with a white wall behind them, and maybe just a shelf and an item just to break the monotony of the wall. But think about the impression that things gives, and maybe find somewhere in your study or in your house or in your work environment or in your personal environment where you are comfortable doing this kind of exercise and you feel that it reflects who you are in a professional manner. So that was my tip. If you're not fully comfortable with welcoming with long emails, use a video or combine both of them. It gives the right impression. So now we're moving into the virtual classroom. And you're feeling a little bit tense, feel uncomfortable because you can't see people. Well, guess what? Your learners can't see you. So if they're not very responsive, it might be as well that they are also uncomfortable. It is very important to spend quite a bit of time at the beginning to make people comfortable and ensure that they have all the tools they need ready and working. So if you're planning on using a microphone, test a microphone. Make sure they can hear before the start of the session. Nothing is more disruptive than someone saying, I can't hear, the sound is breaking. So to find a voice online, you actually have to prepare your environment. It's all about controlling a little bit your environment and making sure that you have a plan. So you show who you are, you give the right impression, you make yourself approachable, and then you make sure that your learners are in a place where they actually not only want to engage with you, but are able to engage with you. So testing the equipment, always important, and not to be dismissed. It's a massive error that a lot of people do at the beginning. Oh, it's a tech company or it's a tech crowd, they will have no problem with the technical. It's wrong. It's always worth testing. It is going to make such a difference. Tell them not necessarily that Wi-Fi can drop and it's better to join a live streaming session without Wi-Fi, so with a corded internet, because it is going to be more reliable and we don't know where people are. So it's always good to cover yourself. And second, far from being second, third, for your session, it is very important to create icebreakers at the very beginning, where people are going to use a couple of the tools that you're planning to use during the course of the session. So if you're planning to use a chat, make them use a chat, to introduce themselves as a little game, to focus them and disconnect a little bit about their physical reality and get into their virtual reality, and also to practice. So during the course of the session, when they get warm up, they actually know what to do and where to look for the tools. Very often in an online environment, when you don't get any answer at all from your learners, I mean, if you said, well, what do you think about this? It is generally because you haven't given the right instruction. Instructions are fundamental online. It is an activity. Be clear about it. It's not a rhetorical question. It is an activity, and I want you to use the poll or the chat or the whiteboard, or I want you to tell me verbally. So you have to actually really force yourself to prepare your instruction. Because unlike in a face-to-face environment, you won't be able to say, oh, Jane, you're smiling, or think, oh, Jane is smiling. Jane, please, do you want to contribute? So you are going to have a system in place that's replacing the body language that you used to rely on to say, oh, well, that person is ready to contribute. So basically, that was a very brief overview of what finding your voice online is about. So let me just recap that. It's starting before the facilitated session. The first impression about you is going to be before. So control it. If you want your learners to engage with you, maybe give them an opportunity to see you. Send a nice email, maybe send a nice email with a visual. Do something that's a bit personalized about it. So ask them maybe to post things about themselves in the communities, all these kind of things. And when they enter the room, remember, it is about creating a reliable environment where technology is not an issue. So start with testing the technology and building a personal rapport with your learners. If you can get help to test the technology, that's also something that's going to make your life easier, to have a producer or a facilitator that helps you with this kind of thing. And always prepare your instruction. Skip them. It is a little bit rigid at the beginning, but remember, when you very first started face-to-face courses, it was a little bit more stressful and a bit more rigid and a bit more scripted than it is now. So it is 3 steps that's going to really make your life much easier when you enter your very first virtual classroom session. And to help you get started with all of this, a little challenge today. I would like you to find a picture of yourself that you feel represent yourself well and that you want to use as a profile picture, and tell us why you want to use it. So I would like to give it like a very professional vibe. Is it too strict? Or I would like to look to make feel casual and welcome? Is it too casual? What do you think of the background? Something that you know, we can discuss about the pictures, not at all about who you are and how you look in the picture, but about the little things that could be unconsciously picked up by your learners. And lastly, a little challenge is to write 2 tweets. One is about introducing yourself professionally, so your credential in 160 characters, and then introducing yourself personally, meaning why do you like to teach that course? Why are you excited to do it online? Or something showing a little weakness. I'm not a techie person, but it is my first course online. Something that it's going to give you some food for thought to save and maybe reuse later when you're going to start your very first session online. So setting the tone. What is your tone? What do you like to convey? Do you want to be professional, casual? What spec of languages do you want to use? Do you want to say hi mate or bonjour? So all these kind of things, think about it and share some of it on Twitter with us and save all the rest in a file for your first online course. And you will be pleased to have something to get you started when the day comes that you have to launch your very first online course. So send us your challenge to us on Twitter at Synck, SYNCSK, hashtag training done right. See you very soon. Bye bye now.